Hey everyone, NWA Prepper here. So I kind of talked a little bit on Patreon about communication and actually communication plans, but so I felt like I needed to share with more folks about communication. And this is more of a question than it is information, I guess. Maybe it's some information. But so what are your tools of communication for yourself, your family, and your group? And then what are your communication methods beyond your group? Oh, big tree. We had a storm in our area last night or night before last, and there's a ginormous tree down that I hadn't noticed. So, what your primary means of communication for most people is their cell phone and voice or text messaging. It's pretty standard, same thing for everybody. And that's just your normal way of communicating. You may have a landline and still that. You may still have an old pager for that matter or anything, but I doubt it. You probably have a cell phone or a mobile device of some kind. So voice and text is your primary. Probably have an email group set up or a Facebook group or something like that. Social media. Of course, social media is just good for general communication. It's not good for specifics. Or you could email or you could, text or talk and get more specific. I mean, I guess you could say everything on social media. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but so then your secondary, like I say, is probably email. Primary is your phone. Lots of times they're combined in one. I know mine is. I can access both in other ways, but my primary is on my cell phone, which is also my camera, so I can't hold up a phone and go, hey, look, it's a phone, because that's where you are. You're on the phone. Or for me, anyway. So then, what other ways of communication do you have? And I don't have one of these handy, but there are some people that use FRS or family band radios and GRMS radios. The style that you can get at, your big box stores, your outdoor centers. They've got, 30 something channels or however many. And they're good. Their range says for up to 35 miles. That's crap. But you can get on the better ones. On the better ones, you can get, a half a mile. At least in the terrain and in the city area. The more obstacles you have, the more buildings you have, the more wires you have, the less your signal. So if you're out, in the plains of Kansas, you probably get way better radio range than people do here in the Ozarks. And let's get crazy, people. Sometimes they think blinkers are just, I don't know what they think. Maybe they're short of blinker fluid. So, and then you've got people that use CB or citizen band radios. All I have for a CB is a handheld, and it doesn't do very well at all. But you can get bigger, better, happier CB radios. And then you can get independent channel radios like this guy here that have set frequencies in them, set channels that you put in there. Most of them require a if you're leasing a channel from a radio company, or that's similar to the walkie-talkies that ambulances and fire trucks and police use. They're programmed just to talk to each other and through their local repeaters or towers. And then, and of course, those only work if they're programmed for those channels, and they only have, I'm sure some of the new ones can have 100 channels, but they only have so many channels in them, and you can't change them in the field. You can't decide you need to change a channel, or there's the programming slips, so you got to change it. And then after that, you go into the ham radio, and this is my new antenna that I just got for my Bofang. And you get into ham radios that, of course, money is power, and power is communication in it when it comes to radios. Some radios you can use through the internet, which to me is like sending an email or using Skype or something like that. But some people use their ham radios through their Wi-Fi or their internet to communicate that way. And maybe I don't understand it very well. But ham radios can go a lot further. They have access to amateur radio operator repeaters that are privately owned, not government owned. That storm spotters use that, and ham operators and Skywarns and all kinds of serious communicators use ham radio. But you have to have a license to operate it. I know some pretty stupid ham operators, so the test can't be that hard. My money is on you're way smarter than they are, so go through some practice tests, do a little bit of studying, go to a class, you can pass that test. So what is your communication capabilities? If all you have is your cell phone right now, it's time to figure something out. If you have wired radio telephones like the old military backpacks, you need the wires to run somewhere. Those are great for perimeter or for inside a set area. Sorry, I have an issue with blinkers. People don't like them, and I think they're required. Anyway, have backups upon backups upon backups. I have 4 ways to communicate with my team within reach of me. You can't beat that. You need them to figure it out amongst your group, your family, and it can be as easy as, hey guys, here's this little bitty, tiny walkie-talkie we got, and if anything happens, you go to channel 2, or preset it to channel 2, and you just start talking until you hear dad or mom. Simple as that. So that's a primary and a secondary. Primary would be their phone, secondary would be their handheld. And grow from that. The important thing is to have ways that you have practiced. My group is in the middle of communication build-up and testing right now. And it takes some time, and there's a lot of wrinkles to iron out. But it's worth it in the end. And our end goal is to be able to pick up a radio and talk not only to our families and our mag group, but any mag groups or the network around us. That's our goal, is to be able to talk to them and share information with them and work together with them. I don't think it's going to be terribly difficult, because we have some smart folks that are working on it, and smart people can get a lot done. I wish I was one of those smart people when it comes to radios, but I know just enough to go breaker 19. Thanks for watching. Get you some form of communication and a backup. Learn to use it and expand from there. By the way, this one is $35 with the better antenna. Let's get ready.